Hey guys, today we're going to show you a video on how we set up our baby corn snakes and how technically you guys should have them set up at your house too. I know when you buy a baby corn snake, your urge is to throw it in a 10-gallon fish tank, a lot of supplies, stuff like that, make it look pretty and everything. But baby snakes actually do better in a confined area. The smaller the area, the better. They don't like a lot of territory. It makes them feel insecure and stuff like that. So what we use are these rubber containers you can get at Walmart, Kroger's, whatever. And we pop holes in them. Give good ventilation and stuff like that. So right now Kate is going to set up one of our hatchlings. We'll show you how we set up the hatchling.
Which started happening yesterday. Yes. I'm only taking the babies that came out of their eggs. The ones that are still in their eggs are going to stay in their eggs until they come out on their own. What I do is I get a paper towel, fold it in half, put it down in here, and then spray it with water. You can buy a water bottle anywhere. Water. Mist it down really good. And then I'll put the baby in it, and it'll stay in there with just the water and the paper towel till it has its first shed. After it sheds, then we'll go ahead and we'll give it a water bowl and feed it for its first time and so on. That's the first one. In his little home, and all that'll come off when he sheds and moves around the wet paper towel.
No, that's a little sun kiss right there. That's a line of the hypo gene, which they actually come out a lot more redder, I believe, than the hypos. These look a lot prettier as older, but we did produce some of the sun kiss. But as you can see, she puts the lid on it. Another thing, nice things about these lids is baby corn snakes are very good escape artists. So these lids latch down and they cannot push them open. You don't have to worry about them getting out or anything, which is another good reason you use these Tupperware bowls as they grow.
And yesterday was 28. And all I do is put what clutch it came from and what date it hatched out, so I know for my records.
And then later on, after their first meal or two, we will sex them and write down what they are and everything like that.
And the second one again, just paper towel in the bottom of the container, water. You don't have to be specific. I just make sure the paper towel looks wet. And then grab your next babe. My next babe. And then that's it.
Now, when setting up a tote for a corn snake that you've purchased from us or something like that, even though it's technically not a hatchling, it's still good to use a tote like this. What you're going to do is basically take the paper towel like Kate did, you put it in there, but you don't have to mist it this time. You place it in there. Then what you can do is take a small water bowl or a small cup or something like that, something small it can get into. You place it in there. Now, this one may look bigger than what it fits, but what we do is we modify our bowls.
Dry paper towel.
Is we cut out sections where this actually doubles as a water bowl and a place to hide, which is very important to have for your babies too. So, if you don't have, somewhere for a baby to hide or something, make sure you put a smaller water bowl in. You can also use aspen shedding for this. You don't have to use paper towel, but aspen shedding and stuff like that. But you mostly want to give the animal somewhere to hide. You can use plants, stuff like that. But here's a water bowl that I've modified. As you can see, I've
Dremeled out.
took the Dremel and sanded it out grooves on each side of it. And what it does is it creates a little cave the snake can go into and hide, because you got this big space in here that they'll hide into. And when you put it in there, you got yourself a water bowl and you got a place where the animal can hide and feel secure. When it comes to feeding our snakes, which I will do another video later on, it makes the animal feel more secure and more ready to eat. By throwing them in a 10-gallon tank with hardly anywhere to hide, temperature's not right and stuff like that, your animal is going to be too scared and too stressed to eat. And that's what causes a lot of issues when people buy new baby corn snakes. Even though they turn into garbage disposals as they get older, as babies they are still scared and stressed and finicky, especially when moving to a new environment and stuff like that. That's why usually when you buy a snake from us, we tell you wait 2 weeks before you try to feed it, because it might not eat the first 2 weeks. And if it doesn't eat in the first 2 weeks, please message us, let us know, and we'll walk you through what steps you can take. But this is the basic setup and what I would recommend everybody doing when you first get your corn snakes. Now, you don't have to go with something this small. You could use a tote this big
Yeah,
from a
this would
grocery
be
store,
perfect actually.
and what I'll do is I'll pull up an example of a larger setup we use for one of our bigger snakes. Okay, here are some examples of a bigger food container you can use that we use with some of our juvies and stuff like that once they get bigger. Alright, as you can see, basic setup, paper towel, it's got a water bowl you can use as a cave and stuff like that. Pretty simple, nothing extraordinary, alright? But it does give it ambient size compared to this. Alright, so if you don't want to put something in something really small, one of these work perfectly, okay? As you can see, it's pretty nice and deep. Got a lot of space to it. Stuff like that. It has almost the same footprint as a 10-gallon tank. It's just not that tall. So I would recommend using something like this for your corn snake. And yet again, it presses down. Snake can't escape out of here. Works perfectly. I know a lot of people want to go, want to display their snakes. You want to make them look pretty. You know, you want to display them. With baby corn snakes, it's not always the best thing, but you can still have fun with it. Don't mind this lid right here. This is actually a lay box where we cut it out. But here's an example of the same tote, okay, but we make it a little bit more prettier. Alright, nothing fancy with this one. You have your aspen bedding, plain water bowl, no holes in anything like that. Then some plants or something the snake can hide in, which is another good thing about like shredded aspen or this chopped aspen and stuff like that, is this corn snake can bury in it and hide. The leaf acts as a place to hide also, makes it a little bit more prettier, more appealing to the snake, alright? But, you know, yet again, though, it shows the snake won't be terrified. There won't be too much territory for the snake to worry about in this cage. They'll feel more comfortable. They'll be more relaxed and stuff like that in a setup like this. And you're not trying to shove them into a big tank real quick and scaring them. Now, granted, don't get me wrong, it's not the prettiest setup that you could do, you know, and stuff like that and really display. But in the end, though, it's still kind of pretty, you know. It shows the basic setup and stuff like that. Once they get bigger, though, into the more juvenile stage is when you can really start to put them in 10 gallons and stuff like that. Once their appetites really build up and they're eating for you, no problem. But until they're really comfortable, I would just recommend setups like this for your baby corns. Like I said, completely simple. They're easy to clean and sanitize. So don't worry about running out, getting those big expensive tanks and stuff like that. When it comes to baby corns, small, basic is perfect for them. That's what works the best, and that's what we use. Thank you guys for watching, and have a good day.